Tackle Junkies, what's going on, everyone? Real appreciate you guys and gals clicking on the video. If you guys are new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing. We've had a lot of new subscribers here recently. Really appreciate each and every one of you guys and gals. Today's video is going to be kind of a bit of everything. We might have some fish catches playing up in the corner while I'm talking to you guys. We're going to talk about some new gear that I've been using, answer some questions that you guys have asked, talk about new baits as well, which we can get that one out of the way really fast here. Let me go ahead and grab it off the floor here. I know you guys are some biospawn fans. New bait coming out from biospawn, the Vile Tube 3.5. We did discuss these in my last live stream. The tube and a couple other new baits coming out as well. I'll link it down below. Definitely check that out. But let me pull up the email here so I don't get this wrong. The Vile Tube will be available for Carl's Club members on Wednesday, March 30th, and available for non-members on the 29th of April. So if you're not a member, you got to wait an additional month to get your hands on the new Vile Tube. So it's a great time to sign up if you haven't already. Free 30-day trial, not going to cost you guys a dime. Make your order, cancel if you don't like it, but still you saved a few bucks. And right now they have their, I think it's called Spec Tackle Lure sale going on, so you can save like, I think it's like 45–50% on biospawn. So if you need to stock up on your biospawn, now is a great time to do it. Code TJ10 get you guys 10 bucks off orders, $25 or more. Of course, there's other things on sale over there as well. But like I said, I know you guys are some biospawn fans, so save up while you can. All right, link down below. Definitely check them out. Okay. Let's talk about these speed bags here. Some of you guys have asked about these as well. So these are the original speed bags you guys see me use in the last few years. This is the smaller size here, a KVD speed bag. I think they say this bag here, it will hold 20 worm bags. But like I said in the video that I did on these, if you're using clamshells, you're going to be lucky to get maybe half that amount. That's the smaller size there. Here's the bigger size here. I believe these here are full of like, I think Guggen baits. Yeah, these are all, you know, Guggen clamshell packages in here. And I believe there's 20 in here, and it's pretty packed. So they claim this bag here will hold like 40, I believe. Yeah, 40. But with clamshells, you won't get anywhere near that. But here's kind of what I want to point out. You'll see here, this bag here is kind of long. All right, compared to the newer one here. Now, I do believe they have two sizes in this newer style here, and you'll see that they also have like a little deal there where you can kind of label it. You can just write directly on the bag. So they do have one that is this size, and then they have one which they call the 3600 series size, which was much bigger than I anticipated. But I tell you what, I really like it for some of those clamshell packages, for swim baits and things like that. You can store quite a bit in this bag with the height that you have in here. So you guys have asked about that, so definitely check that one out. Great bag for your soft plastics, for your swim baits, you know, whatever you want to put in it. But again, I do like the height that this bag offers for the clamshell swim baits. All right, next up, you guys asked about the Busby boxes. Yes, I'm using some of these boxes. I'm still using Plano. I'm still using some Bass Mafia boxes, some Guggen boxes. I got a bit of everything. But you guys asked about these boxes, so I picked a few of them up. Definitely loving these boxes so far. Super solid box. You know, full hinge across the back there. Built really well. Waterproof seal. I mean, it's a tank of a box. This is the 3600 series size, and I love how it comes, you know, out of the box and figured like this. You know, these, you can call them dividers, but these little like containers here are removable, and you can actually change the configuration in the boxes. You can pick up different sizes depending on what you want to store in these boxes. I'm out there in the garage right now working on a frog box, a crankbait box, so it's pretty cool that you can pick up, like I said, different compartments here and make this box your own. But how it comes here really is like the perfect little day box. You know, I got a little deal here for spinnerbaits, a couple smaller ones here for terminal tackle, you know, jig heads, jigs, chatterbaits, jerk baits. So like I said, you can kind of just make this box your own. You can have different compartments full here at the house. If you don't want spinnerbaits one day and you want something else another, just pop it out, put them in. I mean, pretty cool system that they have here. But like I said, I'm working on some other boxes in the garage. So when I get those finished up, we'll do some more videos on the Busby boxes. But you guys asked about them, so I don't have much time with them yet, but if you guys want to pull the trigger on them now, I do recommend them. Definitely a solid box for sure. Built really, really well. So anyways, yeah, looking forward to playing around with more of these this year. So that's the Busby box there. All right, next up, you guys have asked what gloves I've been wearing. Fish Monkey gloves, been wearing them for many years. Love them. One of my favorites is the guide glove, a bit longer there on the wrist. I do have a review on these gloves, which I'll link down below, but just overall great skin protection with the Fish Monkey gloves. Great company here, great customer service, and they back their products. If you have an issue with the gloves, get a hold of them, and they will take care of you. So yeah, Fish Monkey gloves for the win. All right, you guys have asked as well in the last video. I guess it would be the last day that I fished with my son. That was actually one day, 2 videos, and then if I did put the fish clips as this video is going, you guys will see another day, which I probably caught, I don't know, 15, 18 or so by myself. Me and Mike probably caught, who knows, 30 plus fish that day. So probably in the range of, you know, 40s to 50s as far as how many numbers we caught. And you guys are asking how many baits we went through. We have them all here. Of course, there's one on each of our rods. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 9 baits is what we went through. 9 baits here, okay, with all those fish. That's one of the things that I've always raved about with the biospawn is how durable they are compared to other swim baits. But there are a couple little tricks you can do while you're rigging them up to make them last a bit longer. So those jig heads that I use, or the underspins, are from Picasso. Let's see here. Grab one out of this box here. And their plastic keeper, okay, they got one there by the head, okay, right here. Then they have that wire keeper. Okay, one little trick is when you, we'll just use the used one here. When you thread it on, slide it up, what I like to do is squeeze it there right on the shank. All right, that really tucks that plastic behind that little hook there and really keeps it from sliding off. You'll get a few extra fish just by pinching down that plastic on the shank of the hook there. Of course, if they rip off a tail, it's a done deal, but as long as they don't, you'll get a few more fish by just pinching that plastic on the shank, okay? From there, when I'm throwing the bigger swim baits, 4.5 Exo Swim or whatever the brand may be, and I'm using a flashy swimmer, you'll see here, this is how much I throw, you know, underspins, and we're going to get into this box here in a minute, but this is how much I throw underspins. I have an entire box dedicated to that jig head, all right? Underspins here, and then of course I love the swim bait hooks as well. The majority of these are flashy swimmers, but this is how much I love tossing swim baits and underspins. We'll just grab a little mustad out of here for the sake of the video. 5/0 hook, 1/8 ounce weight, one of my go-tos right there. But a little money-saving hack for you. We'll see if we can get this swim bait here to rig up for the sake of the video. Of course, you just got your little screw keeper there. Screw that into the nose of the bait. This one here is pretty wore out, but should work for the video. All right. Now, before you insert the hook point there, all right, back into the plastic, I use this little tool. I got them in a lot of my boxes. It's a handy little tool to have. It's from Rapid Fishing. I'll link them down below. Definitely check them out. I got a code over there. Code TJ81 will save you guys 25% off. As a matter of fact, let's do a little giveaway in this video. How about we give away 2 different ones? How about a micro? Here's the tool here. We'll explain how to use it in a second. How about we give away a micro and we give away just your standard size, and I got a standard one here. Little standard size as well. This is the one that I use the most. All right. But here's what you do with this tool. We'll get into the giveaway at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But here's the tool here, loaded up with a few different color discs. Use whichever color that you like. But before you reinsert that hook point into the plastic, go ahead and poke the hook point through one of those discs. We'll go ahead and do a red disc here so you guys can see it. Poke it through there like so. All right, slide it up just a little bit. Then go ahead and rig up your bait here. All right, rig her up. line it up, poke it through. Then all you'll do is take that disc there and slide it under the belly, and that'll keep that soft plastic from sliding down the hook. You know, once that swim bait wears there and you got a nice loose hole there, for one, it's going to get you snagged up coming in just because the bait won't stay up on the hook. But two, once that wears out, pretty much the bait is useless. So that's when you can go ahead and add one of those discs there, and you'll get a few more fish out of that bait. You can do the same thing, you know, with the jig heads there, okay? If they're sliding off, if the bait's wore out and they're sliding off, let me go ahead and grab one here. Go ahead and thread it on here like so. This one's pretty wore out as well, but if they're sliding off, get them on there like that. Get yourself another disc here. We'll use again a black one so you guys can see. Poke it through there like so. Then you can just slide that down on your plastic, and that'll keep it from sliding off. So just another way to save a few bucks with the Rapid Fishing Solutions hook haul. Okay, a couple little tricks there for you. These are great to add, you know, trailer hooks and things like that. I got videos on these which I'll link down below. If you guys want to pick one up though, head over there to Rapid Fishing, code TJ81, get you guys 25% off. And we'll go ahead and talk about the giveaway now real fast. How about, you know what? Whoever leaves a comment is entered, but make sure when I reply back to you guys that you reply back to me. All right, I'll pick a winner in a few days. So like I said, I'll reply to you, then you'll have to get back to me, give me your address and all that, then I'll ship these out. But we'll give you guys a micro. These are great for, you know, finesse type fishing. You can see here on the back to hold your little drop shot plastics in place and things like that. And of course, we'll give you the regular size here as well. Again, a couple uses like I showed you there, trailer hooks and things like that. So handy little tool to have. We'll give away one of each here to one of you guys. Just leave a comment down below. Of course, it'd be great if you guys would smash the thumbs up. Be a subscriber, but if not, you know, just leave a comment and you're entered for a couple of these. And like I said, I'll go ahead and link them down below with that discount code. Okay? So anyways, we talked about how to save a few bucks on the swim baits. And guys, keep in mind too, like I said, these were basically wore out here. This one's barely up on the hook, but you guys get the idea there. I didn't want to rig up a brand new bait, but anyways, yeah, a couple money-saving little hacks for you guys right there. One there on the belly, one on the back there to hold them on there. They work out really, really well. Been using those for years. I went over there, all right, and I really wasn't sure what I wanted to tie on. Now I know I'm fishing ponds and all that. Some guys say, "Oh, it's easy to catch them in the ponds." Blah blah. Of course it is. You know, it's a much smaller body of water. I can cover that entire pond there in an hour. You know, if they're not biting, I can switch to something else. You know, so I can make adjustments there because I can cover a lot of water. Now, keep in mind that pond is about 5 acres. It's about 20 foot deep, so there's a lot more water there than you think. It's not just a little, you know, 6 foot deep little fish bowl. It is fairly good size for a pond, okay? But anyways, me and Mike been just jacking them on the underspin, okay? And I was thinking about throwing that again, but I wanted to do something a bit different. Water's warming up, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to try the spinnerbait. But the underspin's a bit smaller package, so one of the spinnerbaits that I wanted to go with actually are right here. I got one on my rod, but I bought a few more of them because I really like these. You can pick these up at Carl's as well. These are the Molex FS spinnerbait. This one's white chartreuse. We got a bluegill heritage. Like I said, white chartreuse, and then here's another one here. This is just special white. I do believe on one of my last fishing videos last year, I do believe this spinnerbait was one of the last lures that we tossed last season. Anyways, that one there, smaller package. I thought to myself, you know, it's kind of similar to that underspin. I'm going to start out with that. Okay, so I usually make a round with the bait, and if it sucks, then I change it the next round. I usually make 3-4 rounds while I'm there, and just kind of adjust when I need to. But I thought to myself, I didn't want nothing too big. And here's kind of how I look at this, okay? If I'm fishing muddy water, which is what I usually fish when I'm on my Crestliner, little heads up on that. I talked to Ram this morning, and my truck got pushed up a little bit more. It should be here either April 2nd to the 15th. So hopefully next week, I'm actually filming this video on March 28th. So hopefully in the next week or so, the truck is here and we can get the Crestliner out of the garage. I love fishing the ponds, especially this time of year because the big girls are biting. But I love fishing out of my Crestliner as well. But I got rid of my truck months ago, and I haven't had a vehicle with a hitch on it to get the Crestliner out of the garage. I don't really need a vehicle other than my wife's Jeep here. She works from home. It's always here if I need to take it. And my work trucks are right across the street, so I basically walk to work. I get in those trucks. But as far as my pickup goes to take out my Crestliner, I haven't had one because I got rid of that, my last Ram in December. So like I said, I've been waiting on the new truck to get here to get that boat out of the garage, which hopefully is very, very soon. Really, really excited about that. So anyways, when I'm fishing for my Crestliner in that stained and muddy water, I don't really believe you can bring out a spinnerbait too early. It's not really a visual bite. They need to feel it, to find it, to hit it, right? When I'm fishing that, cold or clear water, I just feel a big spinnerbait is just too much. Sometimes the overall presence with the big skirt, maybe the blades and all that, I just feel it's just too much for cold, clear water. So it's kind of why I start out with maybe a smaller spinnerbait like I did that day, or I just feel that's why the Underspin does so well. And again, I could be totally wrong on this, but I just believe it's not overpowering. It's just aggressive enough to where they'll hit it and they're not spooked by it, if that makes sense. Again, it's not big and bulky with a skirt and all that like a spinnerbait. It doesn't have too much flash, just the right amount of flash and size to get bit on that cold, clear water. That's really the only explanation I got. I can't really figure out why it does so well. And that's really why I went over there that day to play around with these little finesse spinnerbaits. Okay, then I went to the Swimbait. I do believe I had a flashy swimmer on, so I did have a bit of flash. And then I went to the Underspin. So I started that day with the Molex FS spinnerbait in white, and I caught a good amount of bass on it, but they weren't very big. All right, so I made one round with the spinnerbait there. And of course, I wanted to upsize my catch on round 2. So then we went to the 4.75 Exo swim, and it was a flashy swimmer that I was using there. So a bigger profile here, but not as big as like a full-size spinnerbait would be. So I wanted to upsize, but not go too big, not too gaudy. Stuck with the Swimbait there, flashy swimmer. And I actually did catch a bit bigger bass, but I didn't catch the numbers that I did with the spinnerbait. And it's kind of a known fact there. When you upsize your bait, you will usually catch bigger bass. And when you're throwing more of a smaller, finesse type bait, normally you catch more numbers. Of course, a big fish will still hit this one as well. But typically with a smaller bait, you catch smaller bass. A bigger bait, you catch bigger bass. And again, I did catch a bit bigger bass with the Swimbait, but I didn't have the numbers. So of course, round 3 comes up. Like, you know what? I'm going back to the Underspin. And guys, at this point, I'm just grasping at straws. I don't really know why the Underspin does so well, other than what I said. I just feel that it's just the right amount of whatever that gets bit. It gets bit in the spring. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. I honestly do not know. And it's kind of funny. I don't really pick up this bait really any other time during the season other than the spring. For whatever reason, man, it's like the spring killer. It just gets bit. I'm sure it'll work well in the fall, but for whatever reason, man, late winter, early spring, the Underspin is the deal for whatever reason. If you guys know, let me know down below. I don't know why it works so well, but if you're not tossing the Underspin early spring, you should be. Okay, that brings us to our Underspin box. Going to answer a few more questions here. I run the 1/8, 3/16, quarter, and 3/8. All right, 1/8 and 1/4 being my go-to sizes. If you can only get one size, I'd probably go with the 3/16. Kind of a happy medium there. I like 1/8 when it's slick calm out. I like 1/4 if it's windy, get a bit of chop out on the surface there. I do like 3/8 when I'm trying to be more aggressive with the bait, reel it fast. I need a bit more head weight to keep it down. That's when I go to the 3/8, but normally 1/8 and 1/4 are my go-to sizes. I will run them in a 2/0 hook and a 3/0 hook. It just depends on the size of the bait as far as which one I choose. You don't want to go too big when you're threading a jig head into the soft plastic, because the further back you go, in the bait, you'll end up, kind of pinning that action, and then you'll kind of lose the body roll in the tail kick. So I don't go too big. If I'm going to run like a 4-inch bait or even the 4.75, I only put a 3/0 hook in those if I'm using a jig head, okay? Anything smaller than that, I run the 2/0. So really the only two sizes I use are 2/0 and 3/0. Again, my go-to sizes are an 1/8 and a 1/4. My go-to colors here are chartreuse and white. And you guys had asked why, when you're buying the underspins, you don't see a chartreuse and white as an option. I'll get to that here in a second. But I run chartreuse and white. I believe this color here is called Tennessee Shad. It's got a bit of gold in it. I know the fish can't even see that on the water that I'm fishing for the most part, but it's more of a confidence thing for me. I have a ton of confidence in this bait, and I just fish it better feeling like I have the right one. So anyways, Tennessee Shad, and then just your standard little, your shad color there. If you guys can even see that one there. Just your shad color. All right. And why you don't see chartreuse and white in the underspin is because they don't offer it in the underspin. When I buy my underspins here, I buy the heads and I buy the blades separately. I do believe the heads come in a 3-pack. So you get a 3-pack of heads there. And I do believe when you buy the blades, I believe they come in a 2-pack, okay? And there's a couple different sizes there. I do believe these are offered in a 2-pack. So again, I buy a 3-pack of the jig heads, which they are called the Smart Mouth Plus. All right, Smart Mouth Plus jig head, and of course the blade. You can see those on the site as well over there at Picasso. I'll link them down below. But I believe it's cheaper to buy them separate as well. Of course, you can buy them, already rigged up, but it's as easy as taking your hook, running through the hole there, and sliding it up. So it's simple to put together. And like I said, I rather have them like this. That way I can make them up as I need them. If I don't want the flash, I don't add it. If I want it, I can add it. But again, I do believe it's cheaper to build them separately yourself. But like I said, I do believe they have a few more options if you just buy the jig head separately and the blade separately versus buying them all together. So anyways, if you're going to buy them separate, keep in mind that there are 2 different types of the blade harness there, okay? The bigger one here, I believe it's called the modified. That's for 3/0 hooks and larger. This is the one that I use majority of the time, because most of the time I do run that 3/0 hook. If you're going to run a 2/0 hook and smaller, then you just use the original, okay? So keep that in mind. The modified is 3/0 and larger. The regular is 2/0 and smaller. The last thing I want to talk about is the rod reel line. All right, this is the Akuma TCS all-purpose rod. Now this rod has a moderate fast action. Some of you guys think when I say mod fast, it's a cranking rod. It's not. All right, the cranking rod in the TCS series is a medium plus. It's a moderate mod fast. So the rod itself is a bit more forgiving even through the backbone. Where this particular rod here has got a bit more backbone to it. It just got a soft action or a soft tip. Same as the 7-foot all-purpose rod. They just have a soft action to them. Fun rods for moving baits. This one in particular is awesome for lighter reaction type baits. You can even throw a full-size spinnerbait on it as well. But when it comes down to tossing lighter reaction baits, this is my go-to rod. Again, it's a 6'9", medium heavy, mod fast action, 1/8 to 3/4. So this rod will load an 1/8 ounce weight. Of course, you got to have the right reel and the right pound test to do that. But like I said, if you're wanting to toss lighter lures, lighter reaction baits, this is a great option here. TCS all-purpose 6'9". Right? Again, they do make it in a 7-footer as well. It does not load an 1/8. I believe the 7-footer, I believe it loads around 3/8. So again, lighter weights, you want to go to the 6'9" here. As far as the reel goes, this is the Tatula 2020. That's the 6'3". I'm a huge fan of the 6'3", or really any 6-speed reel. I love the power of a 6-speed. I can always speed it up, I can slow it down. But I feel when I'm using faster reels, I'm working the baits too fast. For me, a 6-speed reel is just a good all-around gear ratio. Again, I can speed it up, slow it down, and I have plenty of power. This one here, I did upgrade the knobs to the Gomexes there. slick looking reel. It's really one of the only tattoos that have that kind of gloss finish to it, so I thought upgrading the knobs would look pretty slick. And it does. Killer looking reel there. And we are running, that is 12-pound Seagar Invisex. Again, when you're wanting to toss lighter lures, you need to toss lighter line, or really a smaller diameter line as well. So when I'm wanting to throw, you know, anywhere from an eighth to a quarter, I do like that 12-pound test, especially with eighth. You know, I can get away with 15 on a quarter, but if I'm going to throw eighth, I do like 12-pound test, Seagar Invisex. So anyways, guys, I do believe I did answer all of your questions. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this type of video. Just kind of a quick recap with some fish catches, what I'm using, what I'm liking, why the fish like it. I don't know. I don't know why they like it, but the big fish of the day, I guess I didn't even really talk about that. I kind of alluded to it, but I didn't really talk about the underspin. I believe probably catching more fish that day, and the biggest bass, which I believe was 3 1/4, 340, something like that. I don't remember, but it was the biggest bass of the day. And like I said, I do believe I caught the most fish that day on the underspin. So for whatever reason, I don't know. I honestly do not know, other than what I said. You know, I don't know why it works so good, but it does. So if you guys are not tossing the underspin, definitely pick some up. Like I said, I normally throw it for, you know, late winter, early spring. And then from there, I'm usually tossing bigger spinner baits and things like that. But for whatever reason, man, the underspin is the late winter, early spring killer. Pick them up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a comment down below. Like I said, we'll pick one winner for a couple of the Rapid Fishing Solution hook-alls. Pick one winner for those. I think I do have some extra discs laying around as well, which I'll toss some of those in as well. But like I said, just leave a comment down below. You'll be entered. Great way to save a few bucks, you know, using that hook-all tool there on your soft plastics. Anyways, guys, and I'll link a video down below on some different uses for these as well. But like I said, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Love you guys. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up, and we'll see you guys on the next one.